and feeling about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now 1 week out from the release of Season 2 of Star Wars Andor. And so far it seems that the show might actually have some legs. We're looking at our Rotten Tomato scores right here. We know we don't, sometimes Rotten Tomato scores are a little iffy. Even still now, I think they're a little iffy. But just looking at the show at its heel, it's not an obvious disaster. Which, honestly, probably a win for Disney and Lucasfilm. If it's not an obvious disaster right off the bat. Because, forget, Acolyte took 3 episodes to just bomb. Everyone hated Acolyte after episode 3. So the fact that Andor made it 3 episodes in without becoming a complete disaster, that's actually some progress. There is one thing going around talking about the almost rape scene, which almost rape, nothing actually happened, so I don't know why everyone's making such a big deal about it. I think that's a lot of people overreacting to the scene. I thought it was a little out of place that they used the word, but other than that, I thought it makes sense for the show. I just felt like it felt a little out of place. That being said, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about its performance so far. Now, looking at the Rotten Tomato scores, it's looking pretty decent. However, we're looking at the actual ratings that we have so far. Mostly it's just Variety articles streaming from Luminate data. Now, I don't have a Luminate subscription or a Nielsen subscription, so I can't get these things in real time. However, we do have this report from the Variety where they were talking about the streaming shows for the 18th to the 24th. Now, keep in mind, Andor came out on the 22nd, so this is still covering the week that it came out. This doesn't include the weekend numbers, but a lot of other YouTubers have been going over these numbers in particular, talking about the day of release. So this is data from the day of for Andor. Now, keep in mind, it's not even in the top 10. And the original Andor premiere, the first 3 episodes of the Andor premiere, was at around 250 million views, or at 250 million minutes watched, which is slightly less than this Bosch Legacy number of 278.9. So there is a chance that Andor might be right here, right underneath Bosch Legacy, but that's another Disney Plus show that is not cracking the top 10. And keep in mind, 1923 just did its finale, too. So this is the finale still, and it's still cracking the top of the chart. The finale came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago. I haven't watched 1923, but the finale came out previously. It didn't come out this week. And yet it's topping the charts right now, too. So we'll see. We're not going to get more in-depth numbers until probably Wednesday, Thursday. That's when we're probably going to get our Nielsen ratings, when we're going to get probably the weekend tally for this show, for Andor, where we can get the weekend numbers in. But if this is the performance right now, it's not looking too good. Now, we have a couple other trending reports here. We have Flix Patrol, which isn't super reliable data. It doesn't give us a lot of source information, but we do have the trending tabs on social media. So if we look through all of these, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Wikipedia, YouTube, and actual torrents. And the only place we see Andor even chart the top 5 is Wikipedia and torrenting. Ironically, on torrenting, it's number 1. So people aren't paying to watch the show, but they are downloading it. And then we have Wikipedia, where it's at number 3. But it's nowhere on Facebook. Kind of understandable. Facebook's more of an older audience. It's not on Twitter. It's funny that they're still using Twitter and not X, which is why, again, I don't think this website is as reliable of a source as we can go off of. Not on Instagram, where Hunger Games is the only one. Okay, this is actually probably old data. In fact, this might only be including Season 1. This might actually just be Season 1 of Andor is what they're tracking right now. Maybe this is just people who were trying to watch Season 1 before Season 2 came out. This might be old data. This is just one of the websites that I have access to, so this is what I'm going off of. We have this article from Vanity Fair. Andor Season 2 is the best television of the year so far. Now, funny enough, I read this article. I kind of like what Richard Lawson is saying here. Kind of blowing smoke out of his ass, though. The best television of the year so far? Bro, Reacher Season 3 came out this year. Invincible Season 2 came out this year. Solo Leveling? Come on, guy. It might be the best thing Star Wars has done in recent memory, but best television of the year? Kind of a load of shit. But, either way, he essentially talks about... He actually kind of shits on Disney quite a bit. The disastrously incoherent rise of Skywalker. desperate effort to capitalize on every square inch of Enclave narrative property adjacent to the original trilogy of films. These are articles. As we've seen, the actual corporate press is Luna, come here. Come here. Can you not make noise? Just a teensy little bit? I need you to be quiet. Just a little bit, okay? Okay, love you. Go find a quieter toy, please. Okay. Now, like I've said before, yes, I was a little critical on the show for episodes 1 through 3. I thought for a show that's supposed to be about Andor, seeing him handcuffed to the floor of a ship for 2 episodes seemed like kind of a waste of time. Clearly, some people didn't think so, as user consumer 1147 says, only comment on the video. So, shout out to that. At least he felt the need to actually comment and tell me I'm wrong. He actually gave me the time of day, so thank you, consumer 1147. But he says I need a new brain. No, quite possibly. I don't think I was too critical of the show. But for 3 straight episodes, almost 2.5 hours of content, yeah, I think more should have happened. And to be fair, in all of the media that I'm seeing right now, I'm starting to think that this show doesn't have as much of a footprint as people think it does. In fact, the most memorable thing that happens in the show is Mon Mothma getting white girl wasted and raving at a party. And that's the most important thing. That's all I see on TikTok anyway. Nothing about the Andor scenes, nothing about the Krennic scene, which honestly, in my opinion, is the most interesting thing in the show, even though we only get it in episode 1, and the rest is just not mentioned anymore. It's not the dinner with Cecil and Dedra scene. It's Mon Mothma dancing at the end of episode 3. The end of episode 3, 5 minutes of the show, is all anyone is able to talk about. So I'm starting to think that maybe it's not as good as people are saying it is. But, as always, let's go into my favorite part of covering these shows. The Rotten Tomatoes reviews. These are always so fun to go into because, again, Rotten Tomatoes is just garbage, but sometimes it just gives good content. Now, obviously, tons of 5 stars, tons of 1 stars, and I'll be fair. If you want to say people are bot farming, sure. You can say that. You can go into these 5-star reviews right here. Look at that. The only thing they've ever reviewed is Andor Season 2. We'll go into this 1-star review right here. The only thing they've ever reviewed is Andor Season 2 and The Acolyte. I'm starting to think that maybe this might be kind of a biased opinion here. Here's a 2-star review. Only reviewed Andor. Here's a 5-star review. Only reviewed Andor. So again, it's if you want to argue that people are review bombing always, every single time, goes both ways. Just as many people 1-star review bomb it as they do 5-star review bomb. So this is what I argue with Acolyte. So I would argue, from an audience perspective, most people think the show is decent. It's at a 90% right now, or 80% on audience score. I will have to say, my favorite review that I have found along these lines so far has got to be from this blank profile right here. It literally says, for Andor Season 2, great Mon Mothma show with bonus cameos from a couple of people that were in Rogue One. That was just, brilliant. I honestly think this guy was kind of a troll reviewer, but that review right there, that's peak. It's beautiful. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the other Star Wars elephant in the room that is currently completely dominating all discussion. That, of course, is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. That bad boy just did a $42 million weekend globally. So, obviously, the hunger for Star Wars is still there. Like, people aren't just bored of it. People aren't not taking their kids to go see it. I didn't get a chance to go see 20th anniversary yet. I might not be able to. Money's a little tight. Can't afford. I really want to get the popcorn bucket. I got. Can't see it from here. I got the R2D2 from the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary that I went to go see with my dad because my dad took me to go see Phantom Menace before I could even remember anything. I wasn't even conscious at the time, but I know he took me to see it. I went to go see Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Those ones I remember going to see. I remember standing in line for those movies. And this just goes to show that the movie-going experience is still a thing that people want. Star Wars in theaters. It's beautiful. Honestly, they could just keep re-releasing them every single time. Every 2 or 3 years, you can just keep releasing them for their anniversaries, and they'll keep making money. People will keep going to see these things, especially if they keep killing it with these popcorn buckets. Now, Andor, on the other hand, I had X pulled up because I thought it would be fun to go through the trending tab. But then I realized that it is a week later. Maybe it's not trending anymore because it didn't premiere yet. I'll check the trending tabs tomorrow, and for our next review, we'll see if it's still relevant. But I was going to check the trending tab. It's not trending, and Andor's nowhere being talked about. For some reason, Gotham is trending. And most of the Gotham tweets are about just comparing Gotham City to the Invincible universe, and that's pretty much all Twitter is right now as far as entertainment is concerned. Star Wars isn't anywhere on it. Revenge of the Sith isn't even on it. So I feel like I was going to include it in this segment, but I think that might not be necessary. But in any case, I don't believe we will have more numbers here soon, possibly for my video next week. We can actually talk about its current status and how it's doing. Plus, I might have a new, fresh take on the show, considering the fact that episodes 3, 4, and 5 are coming out. I'm sorry, 4, 5, and 6. And once those are out, yes, we will be able to get a better handle on the show. But for now, I don't think this show is as culturally relevant as people would like it to be. To be fair, the first season wasn't very culturally relevant. It didn't take until halfway through the season that people were shouting at the rooftops that it was decent. It was good. I like season 1. I want to like season 2. This is one of the ones that I don't want to fail. Acolyte I knew was going to fail. I liked watching Acolyte fail. But this one I don't want to see fail. I want there to be hope. You know, I don't want to be a doom scroll. I don't want to be all doom and gloom and black-pilled on Star Wars. I would love nothing more than to talk about good Star Wars for the rest of my life. That would be beautiful. I can just rant and geek, and whenever we can go on our podcast, Indy doesn't have to rant and scream about George Lucas and a can of corn for roughly 20 minutes. I want us to be happy. I want us to enjoy ourselves. So we will see what season 2 has to hold for us. Review should be coming probably Wednesday. I'm going to watch it on Tuesday, record Wednesday, release Wednesday. Hopefully that'll get done. If not, it'll be out on Thursday. But that will be it for that. So let me know what you think in the comments. And let me know if like our good buddy Consumer1147. I hope you would watch this video too. That would be awesome. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if I need a brain. If I only had a brain. But I appreciate every single person who watches this show. Truly and deeply. You know, I'm a small channel. I don't expect nothing from you guys. I'm just a guy ranting in front of a camera. But enough of that. Hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.